Well, Trudeau is in a lot of trouble. I mean, his popularity has been slipping for some time, but the loss of Chrystia Freeland as finance minister and the way that she resigned yesterday has shaken the government to its core. I mean, she wrote a letter that essentially suggested that the government was not being serious enough in preparing for the second Trump administration, that it needed to keep, its fiscal reserves ready to respond to what could actually be a recession in Canada if Trump carries through with his threats, and that the Prime Minister wasn't taking her warning seriously enough. It's hard to overstate how damaging that is to Justin Trudeau, because Chrystia Freeland, who quit on him yesterday, is been side by side with him the whole time he's been in power. She was his most powerful minister.
So, Derek, that really raised the question for me: why did she do this? Like, disagree all you want behind closed doors, but this public display just seemed really odd. So why did it come down to this?
Well, I mean, what it comes down to is it certainly appears that the Prime Minister was sort of undermining her on the side, and had suggested he wanted to move her out of the portfolio into a less powerful role, and she has taken lots of hits for the government, and it's as I said, it's a very unpopular government, and she had just had enough. There's also kind of the embarrassment of the fiscal situation that's going on, that the deficit last year was 50% higher than she had said it would be. And she knew she would take a hit for that as well. So it's a classic political falling out of two close allies who just came to be at odds about how to go forward.
What is the next, I guess, milepost for Prime Minister Trudeau here? What's the next data point we should be looking for?
Well, it has now come to a question of whether or not he can survive. And so things that we're watching for, we know that there are at least about 24 elected Liberal Party members in Canada's House who've called on him to resign. That's about 25 of 150 or so members. So if that number starts to snowball, it might be game over for him. Also, if there are any other cabinet defections, he's lost 2 cabinet ministers now in the last 3 days, and can ill afford to lose any more. And that's what we're watching for as we head into the Christmas break. His political future is very uncertain.
Here is my totally unfair question. We have what happened in South Korea. We have France. We have Germany snap elections. We have Canada. Why is this all happening? I mean, I appreciate that they're all different stories, and you can make an argument that they're all idiosyncratic, but these are rich G7 countries or very rich developing markets. Why are we seeing all this right now?
It's a great question. And yes, they all have their unique elements to them, but they also have a few things in common. We've gone through an inflation shock. We're in a moment of great geopolitical instability. And I think in the case of Canada, you can definitely say that there is a kind of direct line between the election of Donald Trump and what's happened in Ottawa, and the instability of a 9-year government in the case of Justin Trudeau that is already sort of long in the tooth, if you will. Trump is certainly a factor globally. In this case, you can kind of draw a pretty close link.